Hey everyone, it's Flakfire. World War I saw the first widespread use of airships for military purposes. We know they'll be featured in Battlefield 1, likely both in the game's multiplayer and the campaign. So, what was it like to fight on board one of these floating behemoths? That's the topic of today's video, which features footage from Narwahl Dave. Airships were often called Zeppelins, after design pioneer German Count Ferdinand von Zeppelin, and were originally intended to ferry passengers long distances. The rigid dirigible design featured a metal frame made of a compound called duralumin and several gas bags, which contained the flammable gas hydrogen. The airships were powered by large engines and also controlled by stabilizing fins. It wasn't until World War I that these massive airships saw widespread use as a military weapon. Early on, airships enjoyed relative success. Ground forces had significant difficulty shooting them down, especially when they were flown at high altitude. Zeppelins also featured significant anti-aircraft defenses. Germany employed airships to fly reconnaissance and bombing raids. Bombing accuracy was extremely questionable at the time, and the first raids actually dropped artillery shells as no effective bomb had been developed. Among the first targets were London, Warsaw, and Paris. German Zeppelin raids only killed a few hundred people, most of them civilians, earning them the nickname baby killers. But despite their limited impact, these raids resulted in significant enemy resources being tied up behind the lines for defense. The chief commander of German Imperial Navy Zeppelins, Peter Strasser, seemed to understand the brutal reality of World War I and the role of the airship, saying, quote, "We who strike the enemy where his heart beats have been slandered as baby killers. Nowadays, there is no such animal as a non-combatant. Modern warfare is total warfare," end quote. Strasser was killed in 1918 during a night raid over England. Germany allegedly ramped up the production of these airships to the point they actually ceased manufacturing sausages, as the intestinal lining of cows was used to create gas bags for the airships. 250,000 cows were needed to build a single Zeppelin. For the men on board the ships, it was a precarious existence. Airships were downed as often by accidents as they were by enemy fire. Floating thousands of feet above the ground in the belly of a monster packed with flammable gas, ammunition, and bombs was often a lethal combination. To access different parts of the airship, crew members could use internal shafts and ladders, walking amongst the gas bags. To enter gondolas or engine rooms, crew members had to use exposed ladders, meaning a wrong step could be deadly. Additionally, the gondolas weren't pressurized, meaning crew members sometimes spent several hours in freezing cold temperatures. As World War I progressed, technology developed, leading to more effective anti-airship defenses like incendiary and explosive ammunition. These were designed to ignite the hydrogen in the airship's gas bags instead of harmlessly puncturing them. Survivors were rare if an airship became stricken by enemy fire, either being burned alive or plummeting in a fatal fall. Even though parachutes became more widely available during the latter years of the war, crew members were rarely issued them. The reason behind this was twofold: to make sure the crew would attempt to save the airship and to reduce weight. Out of a total of 84 airships built during the war, 60 were lost to enemy fire or accident, a loss rate of over 70%. At the close of World War I, many airships were destroyed to prevent them from falling into enemy hands. Germany's airships were an effective terror weapon during World War I, but it came at a great cost to their crews and to the German industry. Something to keep in mind when you're piloting the airship Behemoth in Battlefield 1's upcoming open beta. What do you think about Germany's use of airships? Would you have volunteered to fly in one? Tell me in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and share on Facebook and Twitter. If you like this historical content, I do it quite a bit, so be sure to subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.